So part two, where did I leave off? I was on six, right? And basically you vetting these partners and making sure that they are compatible with you. You don't want someone only because of money, okay? Because money is not always everything. Because sometimes you could have a partner and they could have a lot of money, but guess what? They're emotionally intelligent. They're not emotionally intelligent. They don't know when they've hurt your feelings or can even have empathy for you in any way, shape, or form. They are not aware of when you're sad or happy. Like, they don't notice the small things, is what I'm seeing. Um, Someone that's attentive, and then if they're treating you a certain way, what do you think they're going to do to your children? If they're making you feel that way, how do you think they're going to make your children feel? And that's like the bottom line of this for some reason is what I'm seeing. Then I had, this one was like a whole paragraph. As women, we have to be held accountable for the men we choose as our partners, husbands, and most importantly, who we make fathers. There are a lot of bloodlines that don't need to be carried on. I don't know where that came from. They have caused enough pain and sorrow in the world. Know how to vet these men. Their trap is the sex. They traumatize you to gain control over you. As soon as they have your nervous system all out of order, they got you. You should be the only person controlling your emotions. That now when I got that message, I was just like, oh, whoa, hold on a second. Dag. How are we supposed to know whose bloodline is not supposed to keep on going and whose is? And it's like what I was shown was, getting to know these people, but not also getting to know them, but to get to know their families as well. A lot of people will keep you away from their families because they intuitively know that they family and where they come from is just something that's out of the norm. But then I also had the question, it's like, but what if the person you meet, even though they come from that, what if they were the generational curse breaker? Right? That was the question that I had for spirit. And I was told that you would know. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean you would know? So it's like, they showed me someone like just doing the work. You would know because of how they carry themselves. Like, you would know because how they, treat not just you, but how they treat themselves first. You would know how they interact with their family. So it's, again, you still would have to get to know the family. Like, you would still have to get to know them, but then you would still have to get to know their family. Because guess what? You guys get married, you formed a coven, y'all have children. What happens when you go to the family functions? What happens when the kids spend the night at the other house? Like, you want to know everybody's morals and values that are involved, and vice versa. They have to do that with you too. Because there are, I don't know why they were showing me this, but it was like precious in how there are just some, even moms, like, it's not always the father. Sometimes it's the mother that's the problem, and she has wounds that were passed down and trauma that was passed down to her that she has not fixed. So men have to be very important on who they make mothers as well, because how she treats you is how she going to treat them kids too. So take it how it resonates, whether, you have to vet these females, you got to vet these males, whatever the case may be. And even if you're a same-sex couple, like, when you have not surrogates, because you would be utilizing one of somebody's egg, right? But like, when you adopt, or when you, it's like just certain, and now I kind of understand why people rather choose younger children than older children in the adoption agencies, is because they are more, I don't want to say more easily manipulated, but they're more influenced. They're more impressionable in a way because they're younger. So it's like, what may have happened to them in the past, they may not even remember it. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But you can instill better things into them. And then, like, older children, like teenagers and tweens and stuff, it's kind of hard because they kind of remember, and you're not going to be able to get them to forget. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, there's more work that would have to be put into it. And you got to remember, like, who were their parents? What are their bloodlines? Because even though you may have adopted them and you may have, instilled certain things into them, if they bloodline hasn't done the work and then they're not willing to do the work, guess what? You got another person running around, bringing pain and sorrow into the world, But anyway, I digress. Back to the nervous system part. You have to understand there are men out there. Like, people have to also understand too. I'm sorry to backtrack, but some people are meant to be evil in this world, and some people are meant to be good in this world. Literally, they were born that way. And you have to know who is who. Who is of the light, who is of the dark. Some people know how to, balance out the duality of things. But there are just some people that are just, they chose a side, and that's the side they sticking on. They're not balancing nothing out. Okay? So it's like you have to be very careful of that. And two, I feel like when your nervous system is not in order, you're easy to be manipulated in some way, shape, or form. Because they could trick you into thinking something is good when it's really not. But if you are grounded and balanced and, your nervous system is how it should be, you could see through people's BS. You can see through the BS. Okay, but number 8, it says never choose struggle over living your life. Okay, I think I would rather live my life, the way I want to live it versus struggling. Sometimes we don't have a choice, but if you can choose between the two, don't choose the struggle life. Don't choose having to chase down a baby daddy or a baby mama to be a parent and things like that. Don't choose to sit there and put yourself in an abusive relationship or even stay there. Like, don't choose to have to be fighting for your life when you could be living it. Okay? Stay in your own lane and your head on a swivel. Now, I was like, on a swivel? What is that supposed to mean? And then I got 360. I mean, is it... No, a whole 380. I think it's a 380. Is it 360 or 380? What's a full circle? I think it's 360 or 380. Don't get me wrong. Put it in the comments. Okay? But it was like a whole circle, basically. And it was like... What I got from that was know what is in front of you, know what is right next to you, and know what is behind you is what I got next. Because I was like, what the heck do you mean on a swivel? So when I got that channeled message, it was like, what's in front of you. Okay, there are things that you want to do, you want to accomplish. Cool. Focus on the present moment. Focus on what you can do now to get there. But don't worry about the present moment. It's like, it's there. It's there. But don't put all your energy into it. Do what you got to do in the present moment. But then you got to also know what's right next to you. Because the thing is, in order to get to those next levels, you have to be careful and mindful of who you have standing right next to you. Because you become like the closest 5 people that are near you, right? And then you also got to know and remember what's behind you, because the reason why you need to know what's behind you is because those are things that were holding you back. Those are things that were not getting you where you need to be. Those were things that triggered you to push you forward. So it's like, know what's in front of you, know what's right next to you, know what's right behind you. And then 10 was always take care of you first. And 11 was make sure you travel out of your city, state, country, gain experience, new experiences. There was a need to know about diversity and different cultures and religions, to be more knowledgeable on certain things in the world. And I think that was it for all the channeled messages. So take that how it resonates. March, I found out, is Women's History Month. So that did make sense on why I kept getting those channeled messages, more so from a woman's perspective. And I guess it was kind of like to just remind women who you are, remember who you can be. Remember that you are in control of you. I feel like women may have been under dictatorship for a very long time. And there's a need for us to heal the world and the nation, because we're the ones with the real power and the real strength to get the job done.